or maybe you attended Unilag at any point in time. You understand what I'm saying? So all this, you have to write, always have an exam that is CBT from your 100 level to 400. Most of all these general courses from maybe a faculty-wide course or from other faculties that you have a lot of people offering them. So all what this lady just did was to go to an exam hall before the guy, imputed the guy's matric number and his password, access his exam portal. She did not answer any question and submitted for the guy. And that was how the guy had an extra year. What makes that possible for the lady is because they could not draw the line between sensitive information and otherwise, right? Certain information about the other person is in the space out there, such that even when issues happen, the next thing that can be done is to see how that sensitive information can be used against the other party. And that was what the lady did. And that was it for the guy. He had an extra year, just like that. The school could not do anything because, of course, when you write those exams, your result goes straight to the server. I mean, even nobody can help you around that. Whatever you see is what you see, right? So it's what we are trying to say is that there's certain information you should not share with people. That's why they are called sensitive information, right? Regardless of whoever the person is, right? So the next thing is, what are now the example of this sensitive information? We have your bank verification number. Yeah, your bank verification number is something you don't want to share with people or anyone, right? Another one is your ATM card details. Please mute yourself, that person. I don't want to mute everyone. Mute yourself if you are not talking. Who is that person now? Abdullah, mute yourself. If I keep saying mute yourself and you don't mute yourself, I may not have any choice than to take you off this call. Mute yourself.
Good morning.
Abdullah, mute yourself. Please, let's all just obey this rule. It's a very simple thing. If you join the call, you don't mute yourself. Once I say the first time, second time, I may have no choice than to just take you off this call, right? I'll see you as a threat to people who want to learn, right? So, like I was saying, so your ATM card details and PIN is also sensitive information you don't want to share with people. Don't just say, oh, you take my card. You know my PIN now, quickly go and help me withdraw there and all of that. I mean, just getting the CVV at the back of your ATM alone is all that is needed at times. To just play with some money in your account, right? Just the CVV at the back. So you don't play with it. That's why they are sensitive information, right? And that's why you see that the CVV is at the back of the ATM and it's usually written in one tiny number because they know that it's a very, very sensitive information that is peculiar or unique to that particular card. So these are some of the sensitive information you don't want to share. Your phone and SIM password, yes. Your national identification number, your NIN, yes. Because your NIN that number is a number that is just unique to you alone. It's an identifier for you alone. I just need that number to go at the back end, put in there and get all the details about you. I mean, your full name, where you stay, what you do, and all of all those things. So in somewhere like US, for example, even when you commit a crime, they don't need to stress themselves. All they need is just to find a way to get your social security number. And that is all they need to get you. That's why you see that in countries like that, it's very easy to bring down any offender. Even when you disobey traffic law, they don't need to stress themselves. So the national identification number is a number that identifies with you alone. And it's an information you don't want to share. Another one is your permanent voter's card. Why am I saying permanent voter's card? That's a question someone may want to ask me, right? If you check your permanent voter's card, beside your picture at the left-hand side, you see a number, right, that is written there. That number identifies with only you. If you pick two voters card, you realize that number is not the same thing. That's a number that identifies with you. And anybody who puts that number on the back end can get all your information as registered with INEC. So it's also a personal information you don't want to joke with. Another thing is your medical record. I mean, if I know that somebody is asthmatic now, maybe I'm staying with someone and the person is asthmatic and the person just did something, I'm looking at getting back at the person. All I just need to do is just to start burning something. I know with flames, the person can be suffocated and all, because what we are trying to achieve here is that there are certain sensitive information that when you share it, like Sarah said, I mean, someone can use it to put something toxic out there in your space, and they might even use that thing against you. Even it can be a threat to your life. So it's important that you do not share with an unknown person, even known person at times, certain information. They contain information that can be used, to scam you or your business. Is important. So the next thing we want to talk about quickly is your privacy. Why am I talking about privacy? Privacy in a way is linked to sensitive information. And I will tell you why this is necessary, right? Let's just go straight. Now look at this. Has this ever happened to you before? Right. Consider who sees your posts. Do you think everybody is entitled to have access to certain information about you, like your name, your PIN, and all of that? We all know the answer. You can relate. I mean, you can comment that. You can put that as a comment in the chat box. Do you think everybody is supposed to have access to that information about you? And do you think you can control it? Those are the two questions. Do you think everybody can have access to it? And do you think you can control it? Those are the two questions we want to ask ourselves. Do you think everybody should have access to it? And do you think you can control it? So those are the two things. Do you think everybody should have access, and do you think you can control it? Yes. Now, somebody say no, except my spouse. No, except my spouse. Yes, except my spouse. Yes, somebody say no, sir. Yes, nice one. Now, but you cannot control it, right? You can control who sees whatever thing you post. So let's get straight into it. Now, look at this man. Imagine you are Jacob, who is having a conversation with a lady, right? I don't know why this has to be the example, right? I don't know why I had to just put that there. I mean, guys, now, when you're having a conversation with a lady, having a conversation with a lady you just met in school, what are the information you think you will share and why? This is where I need people to respond to. What are the information you think? Imagine you are Jacob having a conversation with one fine girl you just, met in school. Or you understand now, one fine girl that, just met in school. What do you think Jacob should share with this lady? Now, let me get your thoughts on this. Don't be biased. No, but my spouse, in case of any emergency. Okay, yeah, I got that. So this is where we are now. So let me get your thoughts, guys. If you were Jacob, you just met this, girl in school, this fine girl that you're even looking at, you're like, oh, this is a prospective, girlfriend or something. So what do you think Jacob would share? If you were Jacob, what will you share and why? Out of all these lists we have here. Nobody is talking. Okay, Sarah, your hand is raised. Go ahead. For me, name only. We just met. Voila. Name and maybe business. Sarah, okay, go ahead.
Hello, sir. I'm Jacob, and I am white. The only thing I'll share is my name and my phone number. My name, so we meet, we're interacting. Then my phone number, and I will also collect a phone number, so that we can keep in touch. Those are the only
thing you can share. Okay, Sarah, if you are Jacob, okay. I need a guy now to respond. Thank you, Sarah. So what is your name and business? I need a guy to respond. I'm just saying, is it only women we have here? Because I had this session, I was thinking it's a mix of the male and feminine. I realized that it was only ladies that I was teaching, one women program like that. I hope we have guys. I've had Temitope speak now. And that's a guy, if I'm correct. Emmanuel said name, address, and phone number. Hey, correct guy. Name, address, and phone number. Address, so that if probably she wants to visit you, right, Emmanuel?
Hello?
Yeah, who is speaking? Temitope, okay, you have the floor.
Yes, depending on a lot of information that you can't go away or hide from person you are meeting. One, like Sarah said, you just need to think on your own to safeguard yourself of the kind of information you are releasing to a lady you are just meeting for the first time. Okay. It depends on your personality, what you want her to know about you.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah, right? I get you. But if you were Jacob now, out of this list you are seeing on your screen, what would you share with the lady right?
Yes, if I'm Jacob, I know I can share my name,
Okay.
my phone number,
Okay.
my hobby,
Okay.
then possibly my age.
You
Then
know, okay, then what?
no, definitely there will be some conversation that we wanted to ask. Oh, what is your age?
Okay. You not share your favorite meal so that you never can tell me, you know.
Yes, definitely. I will share that. Then contact address
Okay.
will be hold.
Okay.
So then
Your date,
current
your date of your date of birth in case you know your
already
birthday is at the corner, she can you
it
understand.
already
Is in
spelled
your
the
age,
age
okay?
out. My date of birth
Okay.
already spelled the date out, the age out.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yes. So those
All
are
right.
the informations.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I love the vibe I'm having in here, right? We just have to make this, more engaging, So thank you for that long one, Temitope. Thank you so much. I mean, it's a lot. So you share your name, your date of birth, and age, and all those things. Yes, for the ladies, let me assume it was not Jacob meeting a lady now. It was one Sarah meeting one Temitope now. Sarah, maybe you might, no, this is not an attack on you. Don't get me wrong. We are just trying to make this lively, right? And don't take it personal. Won't you have shared your zodiac sign or even your account balance? You never can tell. I mean, even your business account balance, you never can tell who Temitope is, who can just freaky your business account. I mean, what do you think?
No, sir, I won't share, sir.
You will not share. Are you sure? Or because this
I won't share my account details or my account balance. And my zodiac sign, I won't share too. Because I am a Christian, I don't so much believe in zodiac or no zodiac like that. So I won't share. Just my name, my phone number. Then my hobbies is the type that is humorous, jovial, and I like him. I can share my
you can
hobbies.
share. Okay. All right. So guys, thank you for participating in this. But what we are trying to say about all these things, or the point you are trying to drive home here, is that what you share, it is your responsibility for anything you share, whatever you decide to share and not to share. And that's what privacy is all about. And that's what makes it a bit difference between, with sensitive information. Sensitive information is those information. Privacy is now your decision on what you decide to share or not to share. Now, why I'm getting everybody's thoughts is not because of anything. I'm getting it because I feel like whatever you decide to share is your choice. I mean, no one is wrong, right? No one is wrong. If you say you want to share your account balance, you are not wrong. If you say you want to share your zodiac sign, you are not wrong too. I mean, this varies from person to person. But what we are trying to say is that whatever you share, you'll be responsible for it. And you need to know that whichever information you wish to share, it's important to know that it's your responsibility to protect them. I mean, look at the example of the guy I gave earlier on, the guy and the lady and what happened and all of that. I mean, I'm not saying that will always be the case, but what I'm saying is that whatever you decide to share is your responsibility, and what comes out of it too is what you obey. And most of even these people, even when we are in a country where there's kidnapping and all of that, I mean, they use information such as your location, amongst other things, to even get you. I mean, now they are trackers, there are a lot of things. So what we are saying is that be careful of what you post online. Anytime I talk about this, I tell people that, see, internet does not forget things. Anything you post online will be there for years. Look at what is happening. A good example is what is happening in Nigeria at the moment, where, we had issues saying, the president has a fake certificate from CSU and all of that and all of that and all of that, as far back as 1979, and this 2023, like close to over 40, 50 years ago. That tells you the internet does not forget things. So you have to be careful of what you post online. It's also part of your privacy questions, what you post online, right? I've seen people in fact, anytime I'm taking a session on employability skills and all of that, I tell them, if you must post some things online, you ask yourself, is it necessary? And for the sake of jobs now, do you even know that employers now, which I can tell you because I've been privy to all these things. Now, you're gonna do this, and people just look at your CV, you can do this, you can do that. They go and do background check for you. For instance, even where I work at the moment, they pay a particular UK firm a fat amount of money to do background check on all the employees. Like, I don't want to say that on this score, right? Because but a fat amount of money, I'm privy to it because I work on the finance team, for instance. So to just do a background check of this guy. So one of the things they do, they check your social media, they see all of that. And I share this story every time I talk about this. I know someone who was denied visa into the UAE. Why? Because they did a background check, check the Facebook handle, and UAE is very big on all this immoral dressing and all of that. Just saw a post on Facebook where she's sort of wearing something that looks like a bikini and all of that, and that was how she was denied. So you want to be careful of what you post online. If you are the type that you like cruising and all those things, no, but you can create a different account to do that. Probably, I don't know. It's not even advisable. I'm just saying. Right? Anything you post online that people must see, because you have different eyes, or even if it's only being cited by your friend at that time, in 10 years' time, you don't know who can go there to check. So it's important that you be careful of what you post online. And that's why you see that when people go for even political position, you will not hear anything. But when they are trying to vie for a position, people will start doing some background check. That's why you see sometimes, if you could remember, during the time of our former president, somebody just came and said, this man does not have a WAEC certificate, although WAEC later came out to issue it and all of that. If you check the former minister, Kemi Adeosun, one of the reasons why she was forced to leave was because there was a check that, this lady didn't do NYSC. She does not even have an NYSC certificate. The question is, where were those people? Where were those information before she became a minister then? So it tells you that the point I'm trying to drive home here that you need to take seriously out of this session is that not every information you have to post, and be careful of what you post online, right? Because the internet does not forget things. If there is something you take out of this particular model, my privacy is that internet does not forget things. So you have to be careful of what you share there and all of that. Don't just put a picture there. Yeah, somewhere. There are some times now, several years down the line, when I check some things I posted on Facebook, I laugh. It's not like they were bad things, so don't get me wrong. But when I see something posted, something like feeling happy with 29 other persons, I'm like, what was wrong with me here? How will I say I'm feeling happy with 29,000? 29 other people. What's their business with where I am? So what I'm saying is be careful of what you post online. I want to be sure you can still hear me. If you can still hear me, just unmute and say, I can hear you.
I can hear you. And I see you, sir.
I hear you.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
You dey feel me? Okay, no problem. I dey feel you now too. I dey feel you now. All right, so let's continue. Now look at this. How do you know? I told you you can control who views your post online. Now look at Emeka. Now Emeka is an upcoming music artist who just recorded his first single. Who do you think you will want to view his post? Yeah, I need to get that thought. Friends of friends, public, or everybody, or two of these people. As an upcoming artist who just recorded his single,
The public, sir. He wants the public because of the publicity.
He wants the public because of the publicity. Okay. Any other person?
His friends.
His friends.
His friends.
His friends. Why?
Yeah.
Nobody's talking. Why? Why his friend? You don't know me. You cannot just tell me something. You have to, tell me the reason. That's how research works. Whatever you give as your conclusion, someone else can come tomorrow on the same topic and say, no, that's not true. Depending,
Yes,
giving another sample.
I said his friend.
I said it.
His friends.
And the reason is he would love to get impression from his friends before the public.
Okay, his friends. Impression from his friend before the public. Okay. Any other person?
Let his friend criticize his friend.
His friends will be compelled to help him share it for more reach and visibility.
Okay, that's good. Hey, Pascal said we have a lot of beautiful girls today with us. Pascal, you the Jacob I was talking about the other time. Maybe I will change that place to Pascal. I don't know what. All right, guys. All right, Pascal is good. Let's just make this place, engaging and enjoyable. We are not seeing each other physically, but let's make it as if it was one. It were one. So his friends, your friend is public. I mean, anyone you decide to talk about, I mean, you are right. Nobody's wrong. If you say his friends, you have your reason. If you say the public, you have your reason. If you say friends of friends, you have your reason, right? It depends. Now, what makes you feel you should share with friends or friends? You know, anytime I talk about it, I give an example. If you come from a very, very maybe strong Christian family or Muslim family, and you know, maybe you went to school, the university, or sometimes, and you know your parents always they love it. They always tell you go to church. Sarah, go to church. Do this. You know, when you are in church, maybe you are leading a program. When you take a video and you post on your status, who do you want to view it first? You want your parents to view it so that they will say, Sarah, yes, she's in school serving God. But let me assume you go to a club, right? The picture says views his post is public and he's a musician, so it's to be public. All right, thank you, Michael. So Sarah, so when Sarah now, you know, is in a club, you know, dancing, rocking and all those things, and you also take a video, would you want your mom or your dad to see it, owing to the fact that they has always told you go to church and all of that? So what we are trying to say is that who views your post is a question of privacy. That is who you decide to view your post. So everybody is right. So in that situation now, you can just post, when you want to post that video, you just ensure that it's only your mom. You go to WhatsApp, except everyone, only your mom except every other person can see, right? When you are in church. But when you're in the club, you remove your your mom from viewing it. So what we are saying is it's a question of privacy. And how do you know who views your post? You can control that. I mean, you can go on Facebook, for instance, you can choose who you want to see, whether it's friends of friends, whether it's friends or public, anyone. You can also go on Instagram to make your account private. This can help you control who views your profile if you don't want them to see, you know, some things and all of that. And you can select on your WhatsApp. This is what I was talking about, status privacy. You go to my contact yourself. Don't be like one guy that I know that some time ago, you know, just one random guy like that, you know, when you are on campus, you know, you have people in class and all that was saying, oh, he has, I think, maybe 3 or 4 girlfriends. And anytime he wants to post a picture of one, he just goes to WhatsApp and just share only with that person. No other person will see it except that lady. So when he posts the other second lady picture too, no other person will see it except that other lady. Somebody is saying, is this guy not breaking brother's code? No, I'm just trying to let you understand how all these things works, right? So don't try that. Oh, if you're a guy here, don't try that. Don't be like that boy. So so Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, that's how you can, you know, control your privacy. It's important. So the next thing we'll be going on to is cookies. But before I go to cookies, please, a second, please, guys, a second.
Hello, Elijah, can you hear me? Your mic is actually muted.
Yes. I just asked for a second. I just want to quickly attend. Just a minute. I'll be back shortly. Sorry. I talk about this. I laugh. Anytime I talk about these cookies, I laugh. You know why? Because thank you, Sarah. Because I remember a session I took somewhere. I mean, I was asking what cookies were, and one grown-up man stood up and said, I said, yeah, cookies are all these biscuits now. And I'm like, what is this? Right. So we hear about cookies every time, like we accept cookies and all of that and all of that and all of that. I know if I ask someone cookies here as well, no, I know we are even mature. Nobody will tell me cookies is biscuit, right? You have had access to interface with certain websites, and you have had access to interface with certain websites, and you have had something like accept cookies and all of that. So the next thing that you may now ask yourself is that, what are these cookies? So I'm very, very big on this because these cookies has to do with your privacy as well. And what cookies are is that they are like a small object or file, the interface between your web browser and you. And what does is that when you accept that cookies, it access your preferences, like your location and some other information about you, and it's communicated with your browser so that your browser can save those things. That is why you see, and one of the reasons why these cookies are, one of the function of the cookie is to target you with certain adverts, right? To target you with certain adverts. How many of you have noticed that you go ahead to go and check something up on Jumia, for instance, maybe you want to order that thing and all of that, right? Then the next thing is, you realize that when you open pages like maybe Facebook and all of that, some of the things you see at first, right, with the, what do you call it? Some of the things you see at first might be that thing you just checked on Jumia. Have you ever noticed? Like maybe you just go on Jumia to order something, and by the time you go to your Facebook page or any other page, you likely will see it, or even another website, that's the work of cookies. So you have saved your preferences so that they will be able to target you with certain ads that suit your preference. For example, if you like checking things that are, what do you call it? Things that has to do with fashion, maybe shoes, maybe clothes, you realize that when you go to some website, those are the ads you likely see, like a short video playing on that website. So it's what cookies have done, because after the cookies, what the cookie does is that it interacts with you and your preference. It gets them, save it, communicates with your web browser so that you'll be targeted with certain specific ads that suits your preference. And how does this work? So what I used to tell people is that before you must accept cookies, because how that works with your privacy is that before you must accept cookies, you must be sure that the website is at least encrypted. Encrypted means that there is a padlock beside the web address. You see now when you go on some websites, you see a padlock beside it, right? So that padlock is telling you that that website is encrypted. And when the website is encrypted, it means that you can reasonably share some information on that website, right? You can reasonably share some information on that website, right? I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice one. It shows that you can reasonably, share information on that website and it's safe. What I'm trying to drive home with this slide is that don't just accept any cookies. In fact, somebody will tell me, but if you don't accept the cookies, they will not allow us access that website. And there's some website that when you do accept the cookies, you will not be able to view whatever thing you are trying to look for. The question is, if it's not encrypted, is it now better for you to now accept those cookies and compromise your personal data? No. If that website is not allowing you view that, it goes to another website. If you're searching for something to get it, that does not necessarily need your cookies. So what I'm saying is that to accept cookies is not bad, but if you must accept that cookies, then ensure that the website is at least encrypted. And how do you know that? You see a padlock beside the URL showing that that thing is, somebody say, hey, God, oh, all the cookies don't accept, right? That's why we are here, right? So, and I want to make sure that we don't go the same way we don't go with the same knowledge we have by the time we are living here. Some of those knowledge gaps when it comes to staying safe online will be bridged. I'm sure of that. So you must make sure there's a padlock sign, at least it's encrypted before you can do that. So it's very, very important when you are accepting cookies. Another one I'm very big on is applications and permission. Application and permission. This is very, very important. Do you know that there are some applications that spy through your camera to see what you do? Let me start from there. Do you know that? I want to get your response now. Do you know that? Nobody's talking. You don't know. Hey, you don't know. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very
Since
serious.
you don't know, right?
That's
It's
very
not
serious.
AI. It's not. Somebody said monitoring spirit. This is not MFM. Okay, somebody said I've heard of it. Somebody said I know, like spyware. Okay. Now, what I want to tell you is, where this is important with your privacy is that you don't just accept permissions. And I tell people, it looks like I'm trying to expose something, but is it true? Do you know that there are some applications that are out there? They look like they are addressing a particular need. For instance, it's just an example. I'm not saying all application, and I might not mention names, you know. For instance, you go and download an application that can help you compress your video, for example, or help you convert video to to MP3. But I'm just saying, some of these applications, they are out there to help you with that. But on the underground, what they are doing is spying into your information. The question is, when you need an application, for example, to help you compress video, what does the application need? Why does it require permission to your contacts? Why does it require permission to your phone list or phone book? These are some of the things we don't even pay attention. When you just install any app, some of us, you don't even check permission, you just tick everything, pam. The same way, when you go to a website, they say terms and conditions. In Nigeria, that thing is even come. We don't read terms and conditions, pam, I accept, and you just continue. Some of these things will contain information that at the end of the day, even when you want to institute a lawsuit against whoever you want, let me assume you even want to take it professional, they will go back to that terms and condition and show you and say, you saw that this was on the terms and conditions. Same thing with application. Why does certain application need permission to your contact list when they have nothing to do with that? Why do they need access to your camera? An application, for example, that maybe you are using for, I can't even find an example now, maybe an application that does not need camera, and they have access to your camera, so they can spy and even see you through your camera and you don't know. What I'm saying is that you have to be careful of information that you allow permission. The same thing with software too. Microsoft Office software, if it was free, Bill Gates would have made it free. But people will go to websites to go and download cracked version and all of that. All these people are out there to help you. But genuinely, the undertone to that helping you is to have access to your personal information. If we have time, I will share with you over 2005 password that has been leaked. You might be shocked that even your password that you hold in high esteem might even be part of it. What I'm saying is that you have to be careful with applications and permission. Application that has nothing to do with some permission. Somebody say, sir, this is interesting, Ibrahim. Yes, it is. Application that has nothing to do with certain functionality, you don't allow them the permission to it, and you only allow it to certain applications that you probably trust. So it's important, right? Yeah, so I want to be sure that people are following me. I just need like 3 people. You just come here and tell me 1 or 2 things that you have learned. 3 or 4 people now. This is just time to get back from you guys. Unmute yourself, tell us your name, and tell me the summary of what you have learned from sensitive information to privacy. Yes, you have the floor.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Sir Adeniji, sir.
Yes.
I learned a lot. For instance, these cookies of a thing, I've been accepting it from different websites, especially when I need a very important information like that. And I know that the site is loaded with information. They will force me, push it. You have to accept cookies, and then I will click on accept. And then these applications, there are some applications that I want to confess, sorry, that that all these premium apps out there are some that they have been tampered with, and then they will access your information, access your camera and every other thing. There are some apps that are actually free though, and you feel like this app is free, let me use it, and I keep giving permission ignorantly. So with this class,
because you're a permission giver. I'm just joking, don't mind me.
That's it. Now do that again. Then, sir, please, can we ask question now? Should we wait till the end of the class? I have a question.
I will appreciate that we wait till the end because certain questions, by the time you ask, you realize that I still have something in this slide that might address that. You understand? But I might still allow you to ask it now. Let me just get other people's thought. I need to be sure someone has learned something from where we started from to this point before I continue. So let me just have other people. So who is this? Who just spoke now? Sorry.
So this is Sarah, sir.
Sarah, okay. I will note that. I will note that. Oh, yeah, yes. Let me have other people. Oh, yeah, talk. What have you learned?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. My name is Mayokun.
Mayokun, you have the floor.
Yeah, I've actually learned a lot this morning. I've learned that you just have to be your privacy has to be conscious of your privacy. You know, like the kind of information you share to people out there, and also this cookie of a thing. Let me say I'm partially guilty because at times there are some things actually you want to feel that you accept it, not knowing whether the site is secured or not. But mostly if I see that the cookie just popped up to accept, at times my spirit will not just accept it because I didn't request for it. So at times I don't, accept such. So I will just overlook it. And this software of the thing that you mentioned, also I've learned a lot of things on it as well. So I think this morning has been a wonderful time for me to be in this class. I've really learned a lot. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mayokun. Thank you. Yes, I need 2 more people.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's Laura on the line, though I came in between.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to I've learned a lot. I think we're trying to go deeply towards cyber security teaching. This has to be cyber tech lecture you are trying to bring us in, and I think it's a privilege. That cookies of a thing, though I came in between when you were saying something about cookies. The cookies, most of the times you wanna fill in some forms. If you press not accepted, the forms went back until you try to click in again when it popped up. Until you accept. If you don't accept, that means you won't have access to those information or those documents that you need to fill up. So that's where my problem is. I don't know how do we handle that you can see a site that you want to log into, put up some details and do some research. And if it comes up for you to accept, if you don't want to accept, can you still have access to those site and do your research or whatever? And another stuff with this some software. Yes, I personally know some software but I don't know. I needed to you say you're going to send some to us. I would just appreciate if you could do that so as to help us, expand on this. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, you can note that question too. I will answer it. So, how many people to go? I mean, I've had 3 people spoke, and they are all this. They appear to be ladies. What happened to our guys?
Good morning, sir.
Okay, a guy now. Yes. Oh yeah. Gender equality.
Now, when you talk about privacy and everything, initially I'm ignorant of all these things that you are talking about. In fact, I didn't know that they can spy, they can steal my information through accepting unnecessary, giving them access to this thing. Because what the previous speaker said, she said that there are some form also that we cannot have access to. Due to that, I just do it unconsciously and accept so that I can go. I didn't really read through to know any information because of what I'm looking for. I'm so eager or very curious to get where I'm going instead of me to do verify very well before giving them information. So thank you for the information given to us this morning. And I know that many people that are attached to us also will benefit from it. Thank you. So that's what I learned.
Yes. That's the goal actually, is to train you, and you also go out there, talk to people about it so that they don't continue to fall victim.
So my name is Kunle Ajayi.
All right, Kunle. So all thanks to Nets Factory Foundation for bringing that for you guys. So you can give all the kudos to them. I mean, I'm just a facilitator. I mean, just coming up with, Yes, so, I mean, someone wanted to say something?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Gracie, and thanks for this enlightenment, because I remember a time that I actually applied for an application online, and that application has to do with putting my NIN. I was actually curious about why would I have to put my NIN, if not for research and everything, and people were like, we should be aware of the information we put out there. And this has been like more of like an express mind, and I've been able to gain so much more, even from this cookies aspect. I can't count how many cookies I've accepted. And
You
now
like cookies now. If you check, you will like cookies.
So
Okay.
with this, I think I'm actually more enlightened, and I know that moving on, I'll be going to be very careful. Thank you so much.
All right, no problem. Thank you all for your responses. I mean, I'm glad that I've been able to you know, impact someone, one or two people. I'm happy to hear that. Then, like I said, you also want to give more kudos to Nest Factory too for, you know, bringing this opportunity for you free of charge, because these are stuffs that personally, if we are going out to take it on a personal note, we know how much we charge, but Nest Factory has been your Jesus, right? Who paid for your sin, or who paid for, I don't know, who gave you access? I don't know. So when you can also give more kudos to them, I don't know, maybe on their page, maybe just in a way, if you know this has been impactful for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you may also want to do that. So that next time they can also do more, they can bring you on board, because I'm sure none of you paid anything to be on this session. I mean, it's free, if I'm correct, right? So, and I know they've done a lot underground to make this work. I can testify to that. So let's now go straight to the next thing we have, which is Wi-Fi. This one too is another eye opener. I'll be shaking some table, but permit me to shake those tables and pick the lessons. I mean, I love the feedback I've had so far. You guys are more oriented about the lessons and not about the lessons, and not about you know, the dragging. Because I will shake some people. So Wi-Fi, we know what Wi-Fi are, right? So let's just go straight to this. Yes, have you ever done this before? Don't be shy, yo. Have you ever connected to a public Wi-Fi before? Don't be shy. Go into the chat box. Public Wi-Fi, especially if the Wi-Fi is even now free. And download Lagos Housewife. Usually when the Wi-Fi is free. Don't be shy, yo. Yes. Somebody say yes, yes. Why you no go connect? Shey they say you connect. Now, I have connected to a Wi-Fi to download movies, log on to Facebook, WhatsApp. In fact, that is when you now go to YouTube, Netflix, and start watching some trending movie. Right. Okay. I love the reaction I'm getting in the chat box. How many of you have transferred money to customer friends or clients on a free Wi-Fi, a free public Wi-Fi before, or a free Wi-Fi as it were? Almost a lot of us. Quickly, let me connect to this hotspot, transfer money, and quickly go. You know, like free thing. I have, you know, like free. Okay, somebody said no. Somebody said, you know, like free thing. I have. I like the genuineness in this. I mean, how many of you have updated your applications while connected to a public Wi-Fi? You update your applications like your iOS, your Android OS, your, you know, those things now. We haven't done that, right? That's nice. Now, why are we asking all these questions? Is to just bring it into perspective for us, some of the things we'll be talking about. So it's not a challenge if you have done it before. I mean, it's not a challenge. So look at this now. Imagine what will happen if a fraudster have access to your personal information, right? What do you think will happen? The person will pray for you, right? If you have access to your personal information, if I'm correct. Another thing is, imagine, right, what will happen when someone can spy and monitor your activities online? If they can spy and monitor your activities online, what do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? Sir? No, I'm not talking to you. I want you to do something. What the person will pray for you, Abby. Okay, somebody wants to talk. Is somebody talking?
Yes, sir. Sir, this is Sarah Deniji. That, sir,
It's still Sarah.
that would be
Yes.
dangerous because I can't even imagine it. I can't imagine.
You can't imagine it, Abby.
Yes, I can't imagine it.
Okay.
Dangerous.
Okay. That's good. That's good. So, having said that, then once you can't imagine it, imagine you are just in, you are even in church now. So I want to use it as an example. You are just in church, you are praying, God bless me, God do this, God do that, God forbid. And I mean, you just, as you're praying in church, you get the first debit alert, 20K, and your ATM card is with you. You didn't give it to anybody. You didn't order any transfer. And that happened, right? And as you are praying again, God, you must bless me, sir. Just like Jacob, you are holding, saying, God, I will hold your leg. You will not go anywhere until you bless me. And you get another 20K debit alert. Even though you are in the seventh heaven, you will come back to earth if you are speaking because you already know something is going on wrong, right? Now, we don't want to get to that point where this will happen to any of us. And that is why we want to talk about Wi-Fi very, very importantly, right? That's why we want to talk about Wi-Fi very important. And what we are trying to say, you know what Wi-Fi are? They are wireless, they use this radio signal, they allow us to connect to the internet and all of that. But the point I want to stress with this Wi-Fi is that not all free Wi-Fi is free. I want you to go into the chat box and put that there. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. Go to the chat box and put that there. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. Oh, I like the energy. We can do that. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. Good. What am I trying to say is we've seen people who just, in fact, I went to take this session somewhere and the man was telling me that, you know, that I just connect to Wi-Fi. I mean, when I see it and, I just connect, even when I go to hotels and all of that. I used to say this anytime I take this session. I know, companies, right? Or I know individuals that, or I've heard of individuals that, install Wi-Fi at strategic locations. Not, of course, the Wi-Fi are free, anybody can connect, but they are not just doing that because they just want to do it. Why the Wi-Fi is there is to have access to personal information of people. That's how it's there. They don't even need you to do anything. Just go there on your hotspot, connect. It's free. You don't need any password. You don't need anything, right? And I used to tell a story of someone I know. If you remember, if you stay in Lagos, for instance, if you remember when, what do you call it? When this BRT, right, was when they first brought all these BRTs to Lagos, the blue one. If you are in Lagos, you remember that blue BRT is 100 naira. Maybe if you are going from all these, you're applying through my 12K to blah, 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 it's 100 naira. All you just need to do, go there with 100 naira, you are there, right? And this buses comes with free, they come with Wi-Fi, if you can remember. If you stay in Lagos, you'll be able to relate with what I'm saying at the moment. So you can remember. So then when it came out, I know someone was telling me, we just bought the bus from Fadei to my 12, it was 100 naira now. Then when he gets to my 12, he also enter another bus again, 100 naira back to Fadei. Why is he going there? He's just going to use that bus because of the fact that he wants to use a free Wi-Fi. That is why. No other reason. Because of free Wi-Fi. And he uses it, he highlights again. If he realizes that what is downloading is not fully downloaded, he will highlight again. He will highlight and enter another bus again. That was what he was doing just to use the free Wi-Fi. But you know the truth is that there are serious risks when you connect to a public Wi-Fi that is not secure. That's where the risk is. When you connect to a public Wi-Fi that is not secure, there are serious risks. There are serious risks when you connect to those Wi-Fi. And one of the things I used to tell people is that if you connect anyhow to any Wi-Fi, you will collect anyhow. Just like the way people say there is this land that you collect, is it what or something. The same way, if you connect anyhow, you will collect anyhow. If you connect anyhow, you collect anyhow. Put that in the chat box. If you connect anyhow, you will collect anyhow. Yes, if you connect anyhow, you collect anyhow. Yes. So you have to be careful when you connect to public Wi-Fi. It's important. You don't just connect, you will collect. Yes, exactly. If you connect anyhow, you will collect. So it's important for you to know that. So the question now is, what do you need to know about public Wi-Fi? Scammers can see what you do online. They can monitor your web traffic, right? And your personal information like BVN, bank app can be stolen. I used to tell people, one of the things you don't want to do is to connect to a public Wi-Fi to access your bank account. You are risking your personal information, your login details to your bank account and your password. You don't want to do that on a public Wi-Fi or on a free Wi-Fi, because most of these Wi-Fi are installed to get access to people's information. And scammers can even install malware or virus that can damage your computer on those public Wi-Fi. Because why is it a public Wi-Fi? Everybody can have access to it. Those who have good intention, those who does not have good intention. And these guys, on the other hand, can monitor your web traffic. Monitor your web traffic, see the websites you have access to, and get some information about you. So it is important to know that not all free Wi-Fi is free. If you are following, I want you to put that in the chat box. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. Yes, I'm getting the energy. Not all free Wi-Fi. Once I notice okay. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. How about the ones in hotels? I'm coming. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. Now, good. That's the energy I need. Not all free Wi-Fi is free. That's what I want to. What about what happens in hotel? Well, I might not be able to answer that. I want to believe that some of these hotels who have those Wi-Fi have it sophisticated and secured. That's what I want to believe. And I'm still going to answer that with a slide, as I explained. I mean, I cannot be able to tell you how secure the Wi-Fi of a hotel is if I have not been there, or if I don't know how secured they are. But I'm going to be giving you some tips to know whether a Wi-Fi is secured or not. I'm going to be doing that for you in a bit. But before we do that, I think at this point, we'll go on break, right? And when we come back, we'll continue from here. So we are going on break now, and I think the break is about 40 minutes. And we'll be back by, what time would that be? 11, I think 11, 40 minutes from now is what? Let me just check and be sure. Let's say this 10:30, 40 minutes. That will be 11:10. So we'll go on break now. We'll be back by 11:10. So by 11:10, we'll continue from there, and I'll be able to answer your question about hotel Wi-Fi and every other thing, right? Kunle, you are raising your hand.
No, sorry.
Okay. All right. So guys, let's go on the break, and let's all come back by 11:10. Come one, come all. You have seen that there's a lot to learn here already. So please, by 11:10, let's all convert back to continue this session. And now, when we come back by 11:10, in like 1 hour or even less than 1 hour, we'll be done. And there's still a lot for you to learn here, a lot. Trust me. So thank you very much. Have a nice break. We'll meet by 11:10. Thank you. That's public Wi-Fi and its risk. That's what we stopped at, and we'll continue from there. And I let you understand that not all free Wi-Fi is important. You know that. So I think the next thing we'll be talking about, yes, is when I said all free Wi-Fi, not all free Wi-Fi is free. Then the next question we want to ask ourselves as we go on is, how then do you know whether a Wi-Fi is free or not? Otherwise, it's scattered. All right. number one, how you will know is it asks you for a password before you connect. So when you have when you have access to any Wi-Fi, the first thing to know whether it's secured or not is when it asks you a password to connect. If that such Wi-Fi is such that does not ask you for a password to connect, then it's a red flag, and you know that anything you do on that kind of Wi-Fi might be unsecured. Number two is that you look for the source. Who is hosting the Wi-Fi? That's the question you want to ask yourself, right? If you check the source, whoever is hosting the Wi-Fi, and the way the name is appearing, it does not look like from a veritable or verifiable source, then you will know that that's a red flag. One thing I say, for example, if you sometime in 2019 or 2019, I think, or 2021, I'm not sure, Google at a point where, they went around Lagos and were installing Wi-Fi at strategic locations where they're just sort of giving back. It's part of what we call CSR, in management. So it's just giving back to the society, and they install Wi-Fi at 3 strategic locations in Nigeria, which is, I think, Unilag, Ikeja, that's this computer village. If you still get there today, I think it's still there, and somewhere in Surulere, right? So if you are using that kind of Wi-Fi, you are a bit sure that, looking at the name and how they have been over time, you are sure that using that kind of Wi-Fi is relatively secure because it's being hosted by Google. Unlike when you just see any Wi-Fi that you cannot even say precisely, you cannot even say precisely who is hosting the Wi-Fi. So one of the questions you want to ask yourself, and you want to be very, very sure of, is who is hosting the Wi-Fi, right? Is it from a trusted and reliable source, or you are just walking on the streets, you see a Wi-Fi and you connect, or you are just in a bus, you see a Wi-Fi and you connect? So you have to be so sure, super sure of the source, whoever is hosting the Wi-Fi. The next thing is that it is encrypted. I've told you what encryption means, or protected. You realize that when you want to put on the hotspot of your phone, for example, you see something like WPA and WEP, right? WPA means wired privacy access, and PEP means wired equivalent privacy. So it's the OS way, Android OS now, is the Android operating system way of making sure that anything you transmit over that network is safe. That's why if you go to your hotspot setting on your phone, now what I just mentioned, now you will see it. It's just to ensure that everything that is being done is safe, that is being transferred or being shared, information shared on that network is safe. So when you see, another way to know whether a connection is secured or not is you look out for these things. If you don't see it, it's also a red flag for you to know that it's like this connection is unsecured, right? And another thing you need to know is that the network name aligns with the location of the host. For example, if somebody is hosting a network, sorry, hold on. Remove that socket. No, the second one. No, the brown. And plug it straight. It should work. Right. Okay, sorry. So another thing you want to be sure of is that the network name align with the location of the host. It's important. For example, somebody is hosting a Wi-Fi, you are connected to a Wi-Fi in Ikoyi, and the Wi-Fi is showing a location in, say, is showing a Yaba location. It's another red flag for you. So the network name was aligned with the location. Now you can use online testing tool like F-Secure, but that's not really necessary for the scope of this class. So protocols like WPA, WEP ensure that all information that is said is encrypted. Who is penning or writing on the screen? What's the meaning of this? Please stop that with immediate effect.
So
Elijah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I forgot to turn off the annotation, Jerry.
Yeah, please just do it so they won't have to.
All right, so I think I've done that now. All right, so let's just continue. So please, I want you to just confirm if you can still hear me. I hope you guys can still hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, we
So
can hear you.
yes, so protocols like WPA, WEP ensure that all information sent is encrypted or scrambled. So the person asking me if you can connect to a Wi-Fi in the hotel, I'm sure this particular thing I've discussed now will answer your question. So these are some of the things you want to watch out for, right? If some of these things are not there or they are not there at all, it's a red flag for you to know that it's not safe for you to connect in that kind of situation, so that in the end of the day, you don't end up, leaking your information yourself with your own hand to a third party, right? So it's important. So the WPA, like I said, wire privacy access and wire equivalent privacy, as in a way making sure that the information you send on that platform or through that network is secure and is safe. So it's important. So moving on next, so before you choose a Wi-Fi, what are the other things you need to consider? It's important. Number one, you consider who is hosting the Wi-Fi. I've said it already. Who is hosting the Wi-Fi? Who is the source? You are in Ikoyi, somebody is sharing Wi-Fi in Mushin. You already know that when you connect to that kind of Wi-Fi, you will collect. Like I said earlier on, if you connect anyhow, you collect anyhow. So you consider who is hosting the Wi-Fi, the name, the reputation. I give you an example of Google now, just some few minutes ago. So it's important for you to know who is hosting the Wi-Fi. Then the next thing is that the information you'll be sharing sensitive. I tell people anytime you want to do any sensitive things or you want to share any information, Wi-Fi is not the best option for you. Use your normal mobile data or any other secure means. Wi-Fi is not the best for you to share bank information, password, etc. No. You want to do something like you want to make a transfer and you connect to a public Wi-Fi and you start using, you are doing something that is capable of compromising your personal information. So it's important. And who are those who are connected to the network? You also want to ask yourself, if it's a public Wi-Fi, like I said, everybody can connect to it and scammers can connect. And why? When they connect, what are they doing? They are monitoring web traffic. So I know, we just go around. I've said it earlier on. You just see Wi-Fi in different locations and you are connected. Most of these guys are not just doing it for free. They know what they are getting at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, they have all your data in their database. In fact, some companies trade database of people for money. I say, for instance, I may not have been exposed to this, for an event I hosted some time ago in Unilag, where we have about 2005 participants who participated in the event. And in the process of doing the event, I realized that companies were, approaching me, approaching us then and say, okay, if we do this, can you sell us the database of the event, the name of the people, So there are companies that's what they do. They get database and, they sell it to third parties and all of that. That's why I was giving an example. How many of you have noticed that if you stay in Lagos, when you want to register for this cowrie, this card for Lagos Transport, that blue card, when you go there to register, they don't need any information from you. All they need is just your name. Your phone number. And once you give your phone number, every other details will pop up. They will tell you, you are Mr. Elijah, you're right. Yes, every other thing. So in a way, our information are even out there, right? Because everything is interconnected. Not to now talk of the information you can now, protect to make sure they are not out there and you are not doing that from your end. So it's important for you to ask yourself who is connected to the network. If it's a public Wi-Fi, it's a no-go area for you. Right, if you'll be doing some sensitive things, even generally. In fact, some of the things I say is not pride or maybe rich kid or anything. If you had attended Unilag before, I don't know. I just like giving an example when I take certain. It's not like I'm giving Unilag some PR. But if you had attended Unilag or some other school, you realize that there are Wi-Fi in almost everywhere in school. One of the things I used to talk about is I can say that all through my time there, I never used all those Wi-Fi. It's not because maybe I don't trust Unilag who is hosting it, but I'm also considering who are the other people that are connecting to this thing at that time. So when you are hosting a public Wi-Fi, sometimes it's not even the person hosting it. But what about other people that are connected? In fact, let me shock you. This just came to my mind now. I have a friend, because I work with, apart from my idea of all these things, I work with some guys who do coding and who are into some of these who are intelligent at just trying some smart things. There was a guy I met then. I was in final year at that time. This guy was in 100 level. He's in computer science. And he told me something. He said I should put on, was it the Wi-Fi of my laptop or something? or the Wi-Fi of my phone, I can't remember, that you will get the password and you will share it and other people will connect freely and all of that. I've forgotten the way that scene played, but it was something that is not a usual thing. I can't remember. And you will not believe that this guy did it. I had other people who connected to the network without even password. And he did some things on his laptop. You understand? So the bottom line of what I'm saying is, now imagine when you now connect to a public Wi-Fi, it's not even sometimes about who is hosting, it's about other people that might be connected to it that are malicious or have some other intention. You understand? So the aim of all this thing is to get protected, right? And consider the location as well, just get protected. That's what we are trying to say. So the lady asking about hotel Wi-Fi, I hope I've answered your question now. Or the lady is not even on this call. Or can anyone hear me?
I can still hear you. Yeah, we are here.
We are with you, sir.
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
All right. All right, no problem. All right, I just want to be sure you can hear me. So the next thing we will talk about is password quickly, right? So what am I trying to drive with this slide? I'll just give a summary before I dive into it very quickly. What we are trying to achieve with this password module is that, look, the fact that your account has a password, right, does not mean your account is safe or does not mean people can have access to your account. That's a summary of what we are trying to discuss here. Somebody will say, my account is passworded now. What is it saying? Please mute yourself if you are not talking, right? That's what somebody will say, that my account is passworded. Yakub Abdullah, mute yourself. Now, you say, oh, but my account is, passworded. I mean, if there's any word like that, I mean, why will anybody have access to whatever I'm doing? But the honest truth is the fact that your account is password or has a password does not mean, people cannot gain access to what you have there. But let's dive into this quickly. So imagine what will happen when this happens. When a person with intended harm or want to cause trouble get to know your password to your social media account. What do you think will happen, guys? So the person will pray for you. Or somebody gets to have access to your bank information, the PIN to your bank account. I'm sure the person will pray for the money inside their accounts. Yes, I'm very sure. So, so you want to imagine what will happen. And now look at this. We all want to avoid this situation, right? Look at the picture of this guy. One situation where, when some people say, what so and Arakobali, you are just in a way, you're just like, God. You understand? So everybody wants to avoid. Somebody said, okay, you want to avoid this situation where it looks like somebody has gotten you, like they used to say, want to get you, right? Look at this guy now. We all want to avoid this. And if we must avoid this, it means that issues around password has to be taken seriously. That's why I had to include this for you. So everybody wants to avoid the situation of the story that touches. How they say it, when your story is touching, but it appears like nobody can help. I was listening to somebody say, you see, all this your story is touching. Well, I'm sorry, I can't help you. So we all want to avoid this situation, right? So then that means you have to take issues around password seriously. And the funniest thing is that most of us here, our passwords are very weak. Somebody will say, why would I conclude like that? Because this is not the first time I'm taking this training. I've taken it in several places, several places you cannot imagine, several people in different age groups, from people who are within their 40 to like 60, although some of those modules for those kind of people are kind of twisted in a way, but some of these things have been discussed to young people, to people who just graduated, to NYSC guys, and I'm saying this from experience and with every level of authority, that there are a lot of people, even on this call, that your password is very weak. Why? It contains your name or your family name. It contains your date of birth. In fact, some of you here now, I have told you I'm going to shake some table. Some of you here now, your ATM card PIN is your date of birth. As I'm speaking, it's you I'm talking to. Yes, you. Some of you, as you're speaking. So your PIN is your date of birth. When somebody just comes to you, what's your ATM card? Is it 1950? No, 1950. So that means if I have access to your date of birth, I can know your ATM card PIN. It's as simple as that. Yeah, Sarah said not me, Sarah. Maybe not you, but some of you, yeah. I know we cannot have, how many people do we have on this corner? 65 people, and I know, in fact, more than 10% of you on this call, your PIN is It's your date of birth of your daughter, or date of birth of maybe somebody close to you. It's your date of birth. So that's a sign of a very, very weak password. You don't want to do that. Some of it has to do with your favorite club, right? Maybe Chelsea or whatever club you support. Some of it is common words. You know, you can see the example. Some of it is simple numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You say so that I will not forget. You understand? So so you want to make sure that your password is not this weak. Some of it contains keyboard patterns. Some of it is less than 8 characters long. In fact, we do so that we don't forget. Okay, somebody said this is true. You see what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying. I mean, I'm speaking from experience. I know what I'm saying. So some of you might feel like, oh, this is the boy. I know that we have people. And thank you, people that are honest. Thank you for being honest. Who is that?
So can I ask a question?
You want to ask a question? I thought we agreed that it's after the session, but go ahead, since you just go ahead.
So sorry, sir.
No
I wanted to ask, if in a case whereby you want to put up your password, you are online, so you try to switch off the internet and then click in your password, will it still be, exposed to the media stuff or whatever? Okay, I mean, you want to log in, you now on your data and then log in with your password. Then if you want to put it off, then log in with your password. Will it still be opened for others to access?
Okay, so I will answer that question this way. And what do I mean by that? This way I'm going to answer it, right? So it all depends on whatever site you are trying to access, right? You are trying to access some of these sites, for example, your social media handle, like all this Facebook and the likes. They also have some very, very strong API, SSL, and TLS certificates, which I'll still discuss, that ensure that everything you do, they work around the clock. Ensure that everything you do, everything you put on that page are 100% secured. I mean, if not 100% secured, close to 100% secure, right? So it all depends on the sites you are trying to access, right? But at the same time, it's not even about putting on off the data and putting on the data. The truth is, people who are interested in accessing those kind of things, there are other ways to do that. If you access some sites that are unsafe, for instance, it means that you have an account with them. In the first place, for you to even have a password and username, it means you have an account with them. And on the back end, they have access to those things, right? So it's not about putting on, your data and putting it on that matters in the end. So it's just about being sure of the sites you are accessing, amongst other things. Okay, I'm just saying this. Somebody says, so can you set an example of a strong password? So yes, I will do that. My password is not what I know or have offhand. Okay, so we'll do that. In fact, we are going to do something now that you have to do. Everyone here has to do, and this is it. So I hope that answers your question. The lady that asked that question.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. So this is what we are going to do now. Yes, we now want to see now. We now want to, and I want you to be honest with this. So look at this URL on this page. You put it on your phone now or on your laptop. It's a secured, what do you call it? It's a secured website. Yes, just put it there and enter any password of any of your account, anyone. The system will tell you how long it will take for anybody to hack that password. So we have like the next 2 minutes or 1 minute to do that. Everybody now, you will now put in the chat box the duration, and I want you to be honest. I hope you can see the URL, guys. Can you see this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can it be copied to clip the chat box, please, sir?
Okay, I'll do that for you.
Thank you, sir.
It's in the chat box already.
All right, thank you, sir.
So I will click it from this end as well. So we'll do it together. Okay, so don't be shy. Just any password, any to tell you the duration it takes to hack into that. So don't be shy to put the duration in the chat box and don't exaggerate. Even if it is 2, you can see 6.66 minutes. Your own is even better. I've seen one of a nanosecond, so it's not even up to a second to hack into such password. So someone is medium of 8 hours. In fact, medium of 8 hours is still relatively a weak password that you may consider changing. Only Ajayi 4 hours, consider changing it. Gifts, 3 months, you may consider changing it, or after maybe a week. Somebody 33.73 seconds. Faith, can you see that? Another one, 22.56 seconds, not up to a minute. Can you see that? Another person, 10 hours. Who is unmuted? Or mute yourself. 9 years, 34 hours. Okay. Okay, keep it coming. All eyes on the chat box. 9 years, 53 million years. It shows that that password precious is relatively strong. Right? 5 days, 4 hours. Okay. 14 days. This one is a fasting period. Shida, please, password to WhatsApp. Password to anything, anyone. You can put anyone. 64.98 seconds. Can we use Google suggested? Just hold on now. Let's just do this first, guys. 6,000 years, 5 days. I love what I'm saying. And I love the fact that you're about to say 1 month, 68 years. Okay. All right, guys. So what we are trying to do, 36 years, 1 month, 1 month. All right, 2.26 seconds. Ruth, go and change that password. Give to 1 month. I beg. Go and change it. 3 years, 5 months. Okay. All right, guys. Let's just, so that we don't take much time. So what we are trying to do here is for you to see how weak your password is. And if you check, you realize now, you see why your password is taking 3 months, 1 hour, 2.56 seconds to just act. Now look at this. Now you can see now the shorter the period, the higher the risk. I just said that that's the tip. So if your period is very short, the higher the risk, taking hours, taking months, taking seconds, taking days, it shows that that password is relatively weak. And you may want to consider changing them. So how do you know a strong password? Like the question someone asked. So I give an acronym, 24,000 years, nice one, relatively strong. Now I give an acronym to this, I call it recipe for a strong password. Just like when Sarah is in the kitchen trying to cook for us, right? Trying to cook for us, there are some recipe, you want to cook fried rice, all those whatever that you had, you understand? So the recipe is what I call Sanula 8 or Asun 8. So if you are somebody who like eating Asun, this is for you so that you don't forget. 46.34 minutes. Ajara, please go and change it. So if you like eating Asun or Sanula, so we can get back to this. So let's get back to how you know your password is strong. The A here is for alphabet. It contains alphabet. It contains L is lowercase. Lowercase is small letters. Symbols, that's like special characters like @ comma, hash, question mark. Uppercase like ABC. Numbers like 1, 2, 3. Then at least 8 to 12 characters. And that's what I mean by Asun or Sanula 8. So any of them. So look at the example of the password here now. It contains capital letter. That's uppercase CAP. It contains small letter. That's SME. It contains numbers. That's like, and it contains special character like comma, @ and hash. And if you check everything, it's at least 8 to 12 character long. So if you check all the password you recorded there, guys, especially those that give us little the shortest time possible to hack, if you check, they don't contain all these things I mentioned, or they contain just some of all these things I mentioned and not all. If you check, it is not at least 8 character long. It is not a mixture of uppercase and lowercase. It does not have a special character in it like @ hash and all. It does not have numbers in it, and it's not at least 8 to 12 character long. So why did we do this? Is for you to know how short your password is. So guys, go and have a strong password, and the recipe for your strong password is Asun 8. This is it here. like you eat asun, you know that roasted goat meat now. If you are in Lagos, you understand what I'm saying. And today is Friday again. You understand? Thank God it's Friday. So some of you feel like, oh, this person, he does not sound like someone who is serious, right? We just have to make sure this is engaging as much as possible, right? I hope you can relate now if you're in Lagos. When I say thank God it's Friday, you can relate now.
TGIF.
Oh, who is that person? I need to know your name. Who said TGIF now? Who said TGIF? Oh no, yes, I'm interested. Remember, yeah, you can relate. It's Friday, you understand? After the long week, let's just find one place, eat, drink, not drink, you understand? Just relax and and be happy. Our boy is going, is TGIF. That's Omolara. Okay, Omolara, now you talk that one, no be me. All right, so this is the recipe of your strong password. It's important. So let's move quickly. What are the other ways you can protect your password? Number one, use a password manager. It's like a website or app. For instance, Google has, anytime you are going online to do something, there's a Google password manager that can help you save those passwords. So you may want to use that. There are also some applications like Password One or LastPass that you may also want to use to manage your password, right? Then you change your password frequently, at least every 3 to 6 months. I told you, for instance, that I work in the fintech company, for instance. On our platform, for instance, we advise each staff, even on your email, you must change your password at least every 8 weeks. That's like 2 months. Even if you just change something there, ensure you change your password. Somebody said, more from Thursday in a vibe in Abeokuta. I think I can relate a bit in Abeokuta. I mean, I can relate. At the point I was staying there, so Abeokuta, yes, from Thursday you start cruising, okay, come to Lagos. All right, so use password manager and change your password frequently. That's what I'm saying. Like every 3 to 6 months, right? Do not use the same password for many accounts. Some of you use the same password. WhatsApp, Sarah 1992. Instagram, Sarah 1992. Which other place? Name those accounts you have. Is the same password everything? No, you don't want to do that. You don't use the same password. That means once I have access to one of those website accounts that you have somewhere, I can use that one to get all your passwords. Sarah said I'm guilty, sir. I'm just saying my own. No, don't take me seriously. Just to make sure that you guys can, I can help you better put things into perspective and you understand what I'm saying. That I'm mentioning him does not mean I'm eating anybody. Somebody said, "Nami be that too." Sir, you like Sarah, Pascal? No, Pascal. Because when I started this session, she has been someone who has been contributing. If you were in my shoe too, that name will easily come to your mind. Somebody who has always been contributing enough. What of Google suggested password? You can use Google suggested password now, just to make sure that your password is strong. That's what they are saying. You can use Google suggested password. Pascal say, okay. Or Pascal, is it that you have an interest? If you have an interest, there's no problem. I'm just calling her name because, she has been very active. Okay, let's continue. Don't mind me. So, you can see Sarah has replied you. Pascal, he said, I am married, though. All right, let's come back to class. Sarah, someone cannot play with you. Pascal cannot even play with you. All right, so let's continue. So you don't want to use the same password for many accounts. It's important, right? Don't use the same password for many accounts. It's important, right? So and use MFA. MFA is multi-factor authentication. And what does multi-factor authentication do? Multi-factor authentication makes sure that there are other ways you can access your account apart from your password. And that's why you see that sometimes it will request for your biometrics, or maybe where you studied, maybe the name of your maiden name. It's just to make sure that when you're accessing a password, you are not just accessing your account through your password. And that's what you see. WhatsApp is even doing it now. That's Meta now. They are doing it through WhatsApp. You cannot just, there's a time that a password will just pop up for you to verify you are the one, apart from the fact that you are logged into your WhatsApp account. So it's just a two, we call it 2MFA, two-factor authentication, right? That has been, so I use a strong password for all accounts due to mixed up of passwords. Okay, oh, you can have password for, account, but you can just have some small modification. For instance, in one, you might have dash. In another one, you might have underscore. You understand? So you just have something that, maybe differentiate them in a way. See, another thing is always update your software. I'm very big on this. A lot of you, when you get a notification that you need to update your software, maybe on your computer or on your phone, you say, no, I don't have data. I'm not updated. Do you know what you are doing? You are risking your personal information. Yes. Somebody said, I've forgotten my transfer code, but I wanted to. Can it come? Okay. You are risking your personal information. When your maker, whether your OS or anything, is telling you to update, you are saying I don't have data. Because developer fix patches to give more security. Beyond, if you have access to a new iOS, beyond or Android system, beyond just updating, or you have a nice interface and all of that. No, beyond the fact that the interface will change maybe to a more beautiful one, there are also some adjustments they have made to make sure that everything you keep doing on that mobile phone is secured. So anytime you are asked to update, please don't hesitate to go and update. It's important. Don't hesitate to go and what? To go and what? Update, right? Don't hesitate to go and update. So you update your password. It's important. And ensure you don't tell people your password. And I put something here, it's social hacking or engineering. This is how it works. If someone knows enough personal information about you, they might be able to guess your password. That's what I was saying when we started with sensitive information. I know your name, I know your date of birth, I know where you live, I know certain things about you. It might be easy for me to get your password. And we call that social hacking or social engineering. So engineering is everywhere. You can also have social engineering, right? So the next thing we'll talk about, we're almost closing up, is watching out for online scammers. These ones are everywhere. They are like MTN, everywhere you go. So how do you watch out for online scammers? It's important, right? So think about this. Have you ever received a phone call from someone before who mentions your name and every other information about you, and later you discover you don't even know the person? They mention your name. Am I speaking with Sarah? Sarah from so, or Mrs. Sarah so, that your children attend this school, blah, 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 blah. And after they finish talking, you even realize, I don't even know this person. I know that has happened to almost everyone. Somebody say yes. Yes, it has happened. Or you have received a text from a number asking you to submit your BVN in order to help you upgrade your account. This one is common. There was a time one was disturbing me. He called, not even knowing that even me, I'm an online safety expert. At the point I just called him. I said, guy, we are all hustling, eh? Stop disturbing me. Eh? The guy just laughed and ended the call, and he claimed to be from a bank. I just laughed. I know you'll be surprised, like this one don't catch, you don't catch me, you don't catch me. Yeah, you don't catch me. I know it will be like, oh, you don't catch me. My password is not what I know or have on, and I don't know. I think I'm reading another message. Somebody said I'm a victim of that. Yes, a lot. Yeah. So that's why we are here, and we are going to learn, relearn, and unlearn. So you have received a call that is telling you want something, and that to claim it, you should call a number. This even happen often. They will tell you, Pascal, you have won a brand new car from Kia Motors. All you need to do is to call this number. And Pascal, who has been, maybe he wants to change his car, right? Pascal will be like, Pascal say amen. Okay. Pascal will be like, oh, this is an opportunity. I have been thinking of changing my car. Somebody wants to give me a new car. And Pascal will just, go ahead to call the number. This might have happened to some of us, but let's go ahead and see what we have to learn from this. So think about this. What all these malicious hackers are looking for on your information online, and the website you are not logged into. Why would they want to keep track of who you are? You should have, just think about it. A website that you just logged, you are not even logged on to, and they want to keep track about who you are. Can you list some example of the information malicious hackers are looking for? Do you know what a malware is and what it can do? These are questions you want to ask yourself. Now, let's do a short game. I adapted this from a particular training that was part on Safe Online with Meta last year with CC Hub. I was part of their facilitator, and I adapted this particular page from it. Now, I want to test everybody. Now, look at these two pages. If number one is legit, you feel these two Facebook page, number one is legit, type 1 in the chat box. If number 2 is legit, type 2. And let's see who will get it right. Somebody said you have won an iPod. APC member are always on my DM. I don't know what you are talking about. If they're on your DM, you to enter their DM. Somebody said 2 is correct, is the legit one. Okay, Adenike Peters, any other person, keep it coming. Somebody said 1. Another Sarah said 2. Pascal 2. Pascal, you're always following Sarah, anything she says. I hope don't mind me, I'm just joking. Faith said 1. Stella said 2. Folake said none. Wahala, none of the above. Lol. Okay. Somebody will still say all of the above, I'm sure. When somebody said none, maybe I'll put the option 3, none of the above. Option 4, all of the above. All right, someone said 2. Another person said 1. Omolara. Keep that coming, guys. We are a lot on this call, and I should expect that everybody is responding. Yes, I can see it coming. 2, 1, 1, 2. Shida 1. Tower Cult. Ademola 1. Somebody said 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Kilo Shele. Just pick 1 now. Yeah, it's the type of it that write the exam in the hall. You are asked features, you write advantage, disadvantage, everything. The lecturer should pick the one he wants. I'm just kidding. So, lol, boats. Okay, but me, I did not include boats in the option. I don't know where you guys are saying. So, you see, these are people you know when they were in university. They are all these, guys that are always sitting in the front. They know it. You see, lecturer give you 2 options. You are saying both. Is both part of the option? Somebody too is saying none, and none is not part of it. They are the type of people that when they give them option A and B, 1 A or B, they will write C, none. They will write D, all. Okay. All right. Now the question is, how do you know? Let me just answer this so that we don't waste time. How do you know which is secure and which is C? What we are trying to say is a question around phishing. They look strikingly alike, right? But the honest truth is the legit one is this number 2. And how would you know? If you check Facebook page, you can see, in fact, don't let me even stress you, you can see they look strikingly the same, that you may not even be able to tell which is the correct one and which is not the correct one. You will not be able to tell. Now, if you look closely at the URL, look at this place, look at this now. Look at this one, you have 3. If you check Facebook page, it's something like this, right? But they look alike, that you like, look at this Facebook now, you can see okay coming out here. You cannot see anything coming out here, right? Do you see that? So this is the one that's legit. But any which way, anyone you feel like, oh, this is legit, is not, but that's not the point I'm driving. The point I'm driving at here is that these are questions around phishing. What is phishing? Phishing is just a cyber crime where you have a set of people who clone a particular website to make it look like they are from a legitimate source. They will clone a source that you will not be able to decipher which one is correct or which one is not. You have about the story of Hush Puppies, last year that was being tracked by Interpol. This is what this guy does. They study a particular organization. They can study them for 4 months, study their operations, study everything they do with the sole aim of cloning that website and using them to attack their targets and get money from them. In fact, when Hush Puppy was caught, if you read the report, if you followed it, there was a particular football club, big football club, that confirmed that they were a victim of that scam. Not knowing there is one Nigerian Raymond Abbas guy somewhere who scammed them. I mean, what they do is they make it look so like it looks strikingly the same, just like these 2 pages I showed you, that you'll not be able to tell which one is legit, which one is true, or otherwise. That's what phishing is. And that's why we are saying that these online scammers are always looking for whom they want to defraud. And they use dating websites, even like Facebook, WhatsApp, some of them on WhatsApp, Instagram. And all they want to do is to get your personal information and deny you of the money you have worked for years. Right? Somebody said, thank God I'm in. Because I'm trying to follow the chat box as well. If there's any new thing. Thank God I'm in. Good morning, everyone. Eunice. Hey. Eunice, do you have something for us? Eunice. You have something for us? Because this one I'm saying good morning. Oh, thank God I'm here. She just joined. Okay. Eunice, you be like all these politicians. You just joined and you greeted everybody. You know those politicians, when they need your favor, they can come to your house. All right, she's just coming online. All right, I'm just joking, Eunice, But you make a good politician, you just joined and you just give us something to notice you. And the next thing I will just hear is vote for Eunice, who has maybe counselor in ward, so. All right, I'm just kidding. So what I'm saying is that that's what phishing is, right? So they look for their target in order to get money from them. A good example is Hush Puppy that I just used as an example. You follow the news. So what they do is phishing. They send an email to you that look like that. In fact, I have people sometimes who get job offers and they just send it to me, the email, for me to confirm. In fact, if I can share my screen, I would have shown you an email I got from a man recently, one Chinese man, Dr. Wang, that shows that he got my info from LinkedIn and they are trying to come into Lagos to have a particular company, but they are trying to find people who can help them with the cost-benefit analysis. Of course, it's within what I do because I'm a finance person. It's within what I do. But the honest truth is, because I'm not just a finance person, I'm also an online safety expert. From the email, I didn't bother responding. I knew it was a scam because there are certain things you look out for. For instance, there was a time I worked in KPMG, for instance. If KPMG will send an email for you, for instance, one of the things you look at, every company has an official color. If you send me an email that is not coming from KPMG, I will, even from any company I've never, you are telling me for the first time, I will know, because there are certain findings, certain things I will watch out for. And once I can't find them, I can tell that it is a scam. Somebody says 73 plus participants. I don't understand. What does that mean? Rabilu Hamza, are you trying to drive a point? Rabilu, do you want to explain what you mean by 73 plus participants?
Somebody says the class is on fire. The class has more participants than every day.
Okay. On a normal day, you don't have up to these participants. All right. Okay. All right. No problem. So what I'm trying to say, thank you. So what I'm trying to say is that, that's how these guys, I don't even know the example I was trying to give. What was I trying to give as example? I think I was trying. Okay. Help me.
About emails. Receiving emails.
Yes, about emails. There are certain things. In fact, if I could share my screen, I would have shown you. I mean, they just sent the email to me, I think, yesterday. Let me see if I can just find it for you to see. Just yesterday or 2 days ago. When I read the email, I just laughed because I have a way of checking things out to know. There's something, I don't need to even go online or anything. There are certain things I'll just watch out for in that email. Once it's not there, I already know that, come on, this is a scam. So they told me they want to come, even though it's within my purview, what I can do cost-benefit analysis amongst other things. I mean, so for the person who has sent me that email, he must have studied me and studied me online. Say he got it from whatever. And before you know it, that was just it, right? That was just it. So let me see if I can copy the email for you to see. Right. Let me put it on your text box because I will not be able to share. I don't want to disrupt what I'm sharing at the moment, so I won't share my.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Somebody said talk to me directly. Don't go through corners. Okay. I told you I would shake some table. You thought I was joking. Okay, look at this email. I've sent it on your chat box. Just take a look at it. That's just what a CEO, an acclaimed CEO, sent to me. Just yesterday or 2 days ago. I think it's even there 2 days ago. Elijah Falabi, we got your mail through Nigeria, through LinkedIn. This looks very, very interesting. That, somebody's noticing what you're doing. I mean, somewhere in China or whatever. But merely looking at this email, I did some, mathematics calculation, and I knew that, no, this is off it, right? So that's what they do. So phishing, they try to clone, send an email even that looks like the email of that company. And before you know it, it's just to get their target. And once they get you, you are in, right? You are in. Now look at the story of this woman, Mrs. Olayinka. Look at the story of this woman. She was trying to get on a particular employment. She went online. She was asked to pay an amount of money. I mean, 1,500 as submission fee. She tried at first with her ATM. 4,000 was deducted. Still, the application did not go through. She made another attempt. 5,000 deducted. The application didn't go through. And you know what she said at the end? That was the story from. That was why I had to include it in this presentation. Mr. Olayinka. So this is true life story in 2021. You know what the woman said? The woman said, "Oh, I didn't know the job offer was fake." That was what she said. That was her confession. I didn't know the job offer was fake because it looked real, but I was desperate. I wanted to get a job badly, so I had to believe. She said. So you can imagine. Let's do this woman. 1.5 turned how much now cumulatively? 4,000 at first, 5,000 at first. 1.5 to pay 9,000 naira. What a huge cash out. That's over 400% of the amount there, right? I mean, it might sound very funny to us, right? But this is something I know that it have considered a pain, and this particular woman must have paid through her nose, and not even the money per se. It might just be like, oh, I've been fooled. Somebody said it's not only Miss Olayinka. I've paid 3,005 3 times. You can see 3 times. They even made it a perfect figure for you 3 times. I'm looking for somebody who have paid it 7 times. You know, they say 7 is perfection. Don't mind me, I'm just joking. So what I'm saying is that somebody said, my husband almost fell for such. According to them, he was to pay some amount of money to God get before they can do blah, 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 blah. God save me. I have paid more than that. Allow me. Don't worry, the Lord is with you. That's why we're having this session. And I'm sure that you'll be leaving this session better, well-informed. When you'll be leaving well-informed, right? So that's great. So you can see that's what these fishers, that's what they do. So moving on quickly, because we'll soon come to the end of this class. How are other ways to spot online scammers? Look at this picture now. Look at this picture. So a lot of you have gotten that picture before, where somebody say, dear customer, to BVN, whatever, call this number. When you see this kind of SMS, don't even respond. Don't respond. Somebody said those people have a dead conscience. So they called me to say she lost 50K to scammer. Conscience in this country. Are you joking? Conscience. Do we have, remove conscience? Do we have hearts? This person, somebody to me say database or something. I used to tell them, I say, in this country, remove base, we have data. Remove conscience, we have a heart. So 440 billion years. Okay. Why is somebody crying? Okay, I understand, Cha. No, guys, don't be emotional. I mean, we are just here to learn, right? Don't be emotional. I know we'll leave here better informed. You know, that they want to finish me with work visas with SMS. So this class has no limited time. It has limited time because I have to get on some things, right? So we just have to be here, right? So I will and I'm sure, of course, the truth about this session is that we cannot exhaust it. In fact, there are certain things I didn't even include in this presentation because of the scope of the people I'm speaking to. There are certain things that was not included. So the truth is we cannot exhaust it. There's a lot. My sister-in-law was scammed of 250K just before she relocated. It was so pathetic. Yeah. So they're all over there. And if you check, I mean, they make it something very, very real. I mean, almost everybody has been caught up in this table or one after the other or not, either knowingly or unknowingly. So how do you now protect yourself? Some of the things they try to do, why those people you mentioned God's talk, is that they try to gain their interest, their trust. They try to gain your trust. And once you trust them, that's the end. They say things to get you emotional, like if you don't do this, you may lose this. They will tell you something like act now. If you don't act now, maybe you may lose this house, you may do this, things like that. They also, ask you for personal information like your BVN PIN to help you process a payment, so that we can help you process this payment. Would you please share with us your BVN so that we can help you process the payment, and you share, and that will be the end. In fact, some of them, they promise something that sounds too good to be true. Sometimes some of these scams, we are one of the problem. That's why I said I will shake some table. When Jumia is doing a promo, for example, and you see somebody tell you Jumia is doing a promo, they will give you 90 to 95% off, and you too, you go and click that link. Why? What are you looking for? I mean, I say it anytime I teach this thing. I'm grounded in finance. I studied accounting. If you check my profile on LinkedIn, you see some of these things there. Now, how will somebody's no firm, no organization will offer a product to you at 90 to 95% of the cost? It sounds too good to be true. So for you to not even go and click the link in the first place, it's I don't know. So those things sounds too good. They promise you something that sounds too good. And some of us, before you even click, you will share on your family group chats. And I understand, you mean good. You come in peace. You just go there, share so that everybody can benefit. Now you are not the only one benefited. You share it on your group chats, on your family group chat. At the end of the day, it's not only you. In a way, you are a referrer. You are giving a referrer to the scammers. Just that you don't have a promo. You don't have a promo code or an amount. you go and share among your friends. So they offer you things that that sounds too good to be true. So these are some of the things you want to watch out for. So these are some of the things they do. Somebody says exactly how they maneuver people. Yes. So it's important for you to know all these things, right? So nobody will offer you something that they offer you something you want or need at that time, yes, because they have studied you, they have been understudying you, they have been following everything you do over time. So that's one of the things they do. One of the ways of avoiding such problem is talking directly to your app. Please, sir, you mentioned that fake Wi-Fi address is one that you will be in Korea. When Wi-Fi tell you, but I don't understand this. How are we going to know the location of the address? No, there are some of them that, in the name or in the source, you can see the location, right? So we are just trying to say that the name should align with the location, right? So that's what I was trying to say at that point. I hope that answers your question. So quickly, let's move to the next one. Is what are now the tips to make sure that you don't fall for these scammers? What are the tips? Number one, don't click links in email or text. If you must click, ensure the link has S at the end of the HTTP. The S at the end of the HTTP stand for secured. And also there's something known as SSL and TLS. They are names for technology that keep your HTTPS secure. They are certificates. You understand? That's why you see when you use email like Google Mail, you can even see things like that, like SSL, TLS, amongst other things. So it's important they are to make sure that it keeps you secure. So don't click links. If you must click link, the HTTP must have S at the back. S there means secured. Once you see a URL that the HTTP does not have S, my brothers and my sister, don't click. If you click, you don't want to see the end of that, right? So you watch out for words that are not spelled well. That's another way to know when these things are coming from all these features. Some of these words are not spelled well. They are not properly spelled. That's how you know. So you also want to watch out for that. And don't not log into account via text or email. They'll give you an email or a text to say log in into this account. You go and log in. No, don't do that. Don't call an unknown number from a text or email. Yes, even now, even from calling, people can track you. Don't call an unknown number from a text or email. Yes, it's not advisable for you to do that. Don't share personal and sensitive information like we have overstressed this. Even your CVV at the back of your ATM, that alone is enough to get some information about you. And I think another thing I would like to talk about quickly is how you can spot fake news. How can you spot fake news when you see them? How can you spot fake news? It's important. How can you spot fake news? It's important, right? It's important. So what are even these fake? You know what we are trying to achieve with this is that, I mean, before you share anything, it's related to the online, some of the things I discussed under your online scammer. Before you share anything, ensure that you verify it, right? Before you share, that's what we are saying, so that you don't be a purveyors of fake news. And that's why you see, I mean, media across the world, they are not being regulated. And that was an attempt the last administration was trying to do when they banned Twitter in Nigeria. And some of the things they cited, they reportedly cited that they were trying to do is to make sure that we protect fake news. You don't say things that will make people to go and commit suicide. And what will be coming to the mind of that person is third mainland. If you're in Lagos, you understand. You say things to some people. Some of you, you say things online, you drag people online that the next thing that person will be thinking of is Third Mainland Bridge. And when you hear Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos, you understand what I'm saying. It means the person wants to go and you understand now. So don't be sure you verify before you share. Yes, verify before sharing. Thank you, Sarah, for that. That's what I'm trying to achieve with this. So let's just run, through the slide, right? Look at this now. What do you think will also happen? Have you ever, forwarded something to someone, something that was forwarded to you? Have you ever forwarded it to someone? Yes. So it's important. So you also want to be sure of this as well, right? So it's important for you to know this. It's important. So have you ever done that before? If you have done that before, you'll be able to relate. And if you have not done that before as well. But have you shared a story or trending news on Facebook or WhatsApp before? Trending news, so that you just hear that they said Tinubu does not have a certificate from CSU. You saw it on Twitter. You just post it. Have you ever done that? I know a lot of people have done. Yes, I love those people responding in the chat box. Now look at the story of this guy, Janet. Janet will receive a WhatsApp chat that if you had salt water during the time of Ebola, and that if you have salt water, warm water, use it to bath, take your bath, it will prevent you from contacting the Ebola virus. And immediately he was so happy. He shared it with what? Mobolaji, right? And they share it on their family page, right? On their family page and group chat. They shared it instantly for other people to also join in. So you can You can imagine, you were so happy. It's something that you ordinarily do because you care for people, like you hear a story. But what we are saying is, the question is, do you think this message is true? How you will know whether it's true or not is if you are verified. Do you think she did the right thing? It's another thing, right? Did she do the right thing? If it happens, if you happen to receive this message, what would you have done? What I expect you to say is that you would have verified. So that at the end of the day, while you are trying to help someone in your good mind, right? While you're trying to help someone, you also make sure that you verify, because in a way, it's against your profile. I used to say it when you are in a conversation or when you send something and when you say something and somebody is saying, let's go and verify you. It's Sarah again. No? Anytime she says something like that, you never can tell, it might not be true. Let's go and verify you. So in a way, too, it's against your reputation. I'm just saying that on a lighter note. So when you share something, you want to verify before you start sharing. Right? Not for a long time. I hardly share messages that are not from verified news media. Sarah, and I said it that if I call someone's name, it's just an example. I'm not attacking anybody. Sarah, that's it now. You understand? So it's just an example. I'm just trying to put this into perspective for people. So that's what I'm trying to say, Sarah. So you have with right information, verify. Yes, you need. That's what we are saying. That's what we are saying here. You verify. Then the next question is that you can come to your mind. Okay, what is fake news? We know what fake news are. There are news that are not 100% secure. Look at the picture attached here. Dear customer, your iPhone has been found today at 11:10 a.m. To view its current location, click. You know, these things, some of these things are not just real, you know, they are not 100% accurate. Some fake news are true, but not 100% accurate. So you want to be sure. So it's a question of verification. So you want to find out. So always confirm every information you see before sending it to others. That's what we are saying. That's a summary. Confirm every information you see. Sir, please repost tips so I can screenshot it. I confirm from the website. I should repost tips. I don't understand what you're saying, Ibrahim. So these are some of the things. Maybe this is what you meant. Yeah. Simple tips to verify fake news. Number one, check the source. The person who writes or sends it. You want to be sure of that. You want to check the source. It's important. Share the source and be sure. Right? Then ask yourself, who has this story? Why has this story been written? Why? What is the bone of it? Try to go back in time. So whoever, and picture whoever is writing it, that what could be the reason why this person is writing it? Is it like a witch hunt? Or is it like to just gain traction? That's why I see some people on Twitter. They will just put something there. At the end of the day, when they gain the traction, they will start advertising available perfume for, say, 200 naira, 25, and all of that. It's just to gain traction. Some people just do that. They just look for one trendy thing that is not 100% accurate just to gain traction online. Once they get the traction, you know, you just want to verify and ask yourself, and why are they sharing it at this time? That's another thing. If it's election period, somebody can say Peter Obi did not go to secondary school. Another person can say, oh, Tinubu did not go to secondary school because it's electionary period. Sometimes too, period 2 tells us whether a news will be fake or not. So these are some of the tips you look at. Ask yourself, who else is reporting the story? Yes, any story that you can't find in other verifiable media is not something you should share. You are verifying the story, for example, Punch is not reporting, you just saw it on one gistonline.com and you post it on your, you start sharing. No, you have to be sure of verifiable online media to see if they are reporting it. Is Arise reporting it? Is CNN reporting it? It does not mean that these guys too do not always come out sometimes too to give a rebuttal on some of the things they have reported that they feel like, oh, they didn't report the figures well. They do that. I'm conversant with Arise, for instance, and CNN. Sometimes when they, have that kind of thing, they come out to say, oh, no, this figure, we meant to say this and all of that. So, but it's still better you check all this media. At least you have something to quote to say, oh, you reference it to say, oh, I'm taking it from this media. That's another thing I always tell people. Always cite necessary reference. In research, for example, this is very, very important. References is important. Don't just take people's opinion as your own opinion. If you are not the source, put the source there. So that at the end of the day, even when it goes haywire, you are sure that, oh, you got it from a source and you put it there. You look so legit and no grammatical. How do you provide it? There are some scam websites that are HTTPS in their address and look so legit with no grammatical errors. How do you protect yourself in this situation? Yes, like I said, if you even have HTTPS, it's rare for you to have a secured website and not secure website with HTTPS. It's very, very rare, right? It's very, very rare, to the best of what I know. And even if you must, the question is, what are they doing particularly in that website? That's another thing. What is the essence of the website? That's another thing you may want to ask yourself. before you go on there. And when you click the padlock, like I said, there's always a padlock beside the URL. Any scam website most times don't have that padlock. They will have something like a triangle that shows something like this thing. If you cannot see a padlock beside the URL, you already know it's not safe. So, my brother, get out of that website as soon as you can, before the website gets into you and your personal information. So you also, I hope that answers your question. So moving on, you also ask yourself, does it sound right? Check online if something truly happened. You can check online. Check the pictures if it's real. In fact, there's a website where you can check where a picture is real, but I didn't include that here. You can also watch out for false headline, right? So I think getting to the close of this, you can even see from this slide indicator that we are almost at the end of the road, right? The next thing is cyberbullying and harassment. I mean, this is just around trying to drag people online. Some of you, that's what you do. You give comment like you are a failure, you are ugly, I hate you. Somebody will share a picture online. You say, Ujuelegba Kim Kardashian. I've seen something like that before. Somebody just share wedding picture. You hear somebody say, oh, look at it. Look at how will this fine boy go and marry this ugly girl? I mean, those are hate speech. Those are some sort of cyberbullying, and it's not restricted to just younger people. Even older people do it. You see something online, you just die. You say, look at this guy. Look at how dark he is, like the bottom of pots. Who told you? But the person is dark like the bottom of pots. You understand? You just see people saying all things. Somebody shared a picture. You say, look at you. Look at your back. Your back is flat. You know, those are things you want to stay away from, right? You see people saying you are a failure. You don't know anything. You post embarrassing picture of anyone online. Some of us have done that before, right? You don't want to do that. It's not good. Somebody will put something online. You say, look at this one. Look at his long nose. Like, I mean, don't do that. Don't do that. That's hate speech. I will show you something now. You will see. Cyberbullying is everywhere. Look at this now. This is a story of an intake that was added to a team. Look at the reactions. Somebody said, pot calling kettle black. Hypocrisy at its best. What does that have to do with? You just added somebody to the group. You are calling him pot. He's calling somebody black. Somebody said, this is a joke. I'll be group with what? Saying, can this person be in a group with us? You know, those statements are statements that are demeaning. Somebody say melanin popping. I don't know what that means. Muchena. Melanin, I know that one is talking about the skin color or something, right? You know, you just say all those things. Look at the reaction here, for instance, now. Somebody saying someone add up to this group. This is just one person. Somebody saying, if we not ship, then we not. I mean, that's how people can be. You put something online, you just people saying all manner of things. Look at this picture, for example, this next one. Look at this man here. Someone is calling him loser. Somebody is calling him stupid. One same person. That's cyberbullying. You don't need to see people physically to bully them. You can also bully them online. You tell some of you can so abuse people that I've said it before. The next person that person will be thinking about is Third Mainland Bridge. Just go and drop inside the river. You know, I was giving an example of this when I was talking to some people around this. I'll also be facilitating this session on some other, you know, we call them other facilitators. When I was training them, I was telling them that even if you had worked in the banking sector before, there's something they call MPR. That MPR is like a board meeting where all the board members will come and all your subordinates will also be there. You'll be giving them report on what you have done so far, your millions. And in that report, I've seen elderly people crying at that report. I'm not saying they are cyberbullying people. I'm just trying to give an example of certain things and you see old men crying. Maybe one of the board members just said, look at you, look at the figures you are bringing in. So this as old as you are, and you wake up every morning, you leave your house 8 a.m., come here, look at the figure. Of course, that is part of the corporate culture, because we want to make sure that people are efficient and all of that. But I'm just saying that there are some people that they can say things that can make you commit suicide. I mean, we've had the story of people committing suicide because one person said one thing or the other to them, and they start developing, oh, anything I do, it does not always work. They always say, I don't do this right. And before you know it, the person will start committing suicide. You know, people who commit suicide, their blood is tied to some people's, it's tied to the statements some people have made carelessly online. Don't make statements that are carelessly online. So what we are saying is, anybody, not only children, can be bullied online. But however, the most important thing is to know how to deal with it. How do you deal with it? That's what we'll now talk about. How you can deal with it is that I used to advocate that you should be an upstander and not a bystander. A bystander is somebody that watched something happen without responding positively. While an upstander is somebody that watched something happen and respond positively to that thing. Be an upstander for people, even when they are dragging people online. Be that person that will stand up for that person online. Don't join people to drag people and join people to add to the numbers of the people that are committing suicide. So I'm just trying to make this relatable, right? So cyberbullying and harassment is what you want to stay away from, as well as you're using the online platform. You want to stay away from cyberbullying. And the last thing I will just talk about, which I did not add here generally, is just how you can annex digital opportunities. I'll just talk about that in the next 2 minutes. How can you annex digital opportunities? Yes. How many of you know that every application you use have an algorithm? An algorithm is what tells how a particular task can be solved, how a problem can be solved. Yes, that's what an algorithm is. For example, if somebody goes online and wants to do something, the algorithm tells what should pop up as a result. So algorithm summarily tells us how a particular problem should be solved. I hope you know that all social media and do have an algorithm that works with them. Have you noticed that when you go on YouTube with an amazing learning today, sadly, my phone is almost out of battery. I mean, the session is coming to an end. I just want to talk about this on a lighter note for you guys, right? So this algorithm works in a way that, how many of you have noticed that when you go on YouTube or on Facebook, the first 4 things you see are what syncs with your interest? For example, if you are the type that like watching comedy video, when you go on YouTube, the first 4 videos you see, you find the comedy of the person you watch. Maybe you watch Brain Jotter, for instance, you find it there. Yes, that's algorithm. So every application have an algorithm that works, right, with them. And what am I trying to say? How can you now annex digital opportunities? What I want to say is that you are more of what you view online. That's a summary of what I'm trying to say. You are more of what you view online, your interest online. That's what I'm trying to say. For instance, I give an example. I'm a good example of somebody who have gotten job opportunities on LinkedIn, for instance. In fact, I got to interface. I say it in all the sessions I take with Nest Factory. Anytime I'm taking sessions that has to do with them. That getting to know Nest Factory in the first place came through LinkedIn. Somebody just needed someone who would do something around digital literacy, and he went on LinkedIn, searched my name, and my name pops up, and they reached out to me. My contact is there, and they reached out to me. And when they reached out to me, the first, interaction I had with them to do something for them run into hundreds of thousands of naira just from somebody going online to get. Why is LinkedIn bringing my name first when they search for digital literacy advocate? If you check my profile, the algorithm has been structured in a way that when you search for something, if you have anybody who have those things very, very strong on their profile, it pops them up first, and my name pops up first, and they reach out. So what I'm saying is that you are more of what you view online, and you are more of what you see online. If you are the type that you are probably looking for a job in the finance space, and all you watch online is comedy video of Brain Jotter, be sure that every time Brain Jotter releases a new comedy video, you will see it. Yes, that's algorithm at its peak. Head of family will know, perform to collect. They will tell you the position you're occupying is not your family name, perform. Okay, you're talking about cyberbullying. Okay. Yeah. So, you just want to, if you are looking for a job in the finance space now, then you should be online and follow pages that has to do with finance space. When I teach job and employability session, I tell them that it is a job to look for a job. What did I say? It is a job to look for a job. If you're looking for a job, it's another job on its own to be looking for a job, because you have you don't have one CV and be sending for all jobs. I don't want to go into that. That's for employability session and all of that, and that's not why we are here. I'm not taking that, so I won't really dive into that. What I'm saying is that you are more of what you view online. If your interest is in a particular thing, ensure you follow people that are in that line, and ensure you reach out for the way. In fact, when I got into ARM, because I've also interned in ARM when I was in the university, for instance, when I was interning in ARM, I got the opportunity through online. I just joined their media page. I showed my interest online, anything finance, even Goldman Sachs, and I get notified. When those people post, I get to see them. Why? Because it is algorithm. Oh, that word resonates with someone. It is a job to look for a job. Yes, it is. It is a job. In fact, if you not take anything out of this is not an employability session or CV writing. I would have taken my time. Like, it's a session of like 2 hours on its own. I would have taken my time to also explain. But we don't want to go. But I love the fact that resonates with someone, that it is a job to look for a job. Yes, it is. It is a job. I tell it to anybody. It is a job to look for a job. This class, almost everybody joined because of certificates. You are a savage. Okay, so that's what I just want to say about annexing digital opportunities. So you are more of what you interact with online. Sure, you interact with things that sync with your interests, so that when you need opportunities in that line, you easily get them, right? So guys, I think I have at the end of this. If you have any question quickly, let's take question in the next 5 minutes, and we end this session. So thank you very much. If you are Omolara, your hand is raised, so you ask a question.
What a
Please, sir,
wonderful
can you show
class.
your slide from beginning? Okay. Oh,
Please,
thank you
yeah.
very much, Omolara.
Can we get the slide?
You
Can we get
cannot.
your slide?
I don't think so.
I wasn't able to capture all, but I captured some.
The one you capture too is a lot now, you know. It's my
It's
intellectual
not a
property.
lot. Oh, this class is mind blowing, honestly.
It's
Sincerely,
my
it's been a very, very educated class, and then the delivery was superb.
Oh, thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much for that class.
Thank you.
So I learned a lot. I'm going to let me give another person the opportunity. I'll come back with my questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your voice is a bit low. Are you far from your microphone?
Okay, sir. Please, can you hear me now, sir?
I think it's better.
Yes, sir. The class has been wonderful. Like, seriously, I really learned a lot today. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to Net Factory. And I'm grateful to you too, the way you actually gave us lots of values today. So the question I have is about this.
We can't hear you.
Question I have is about hackers or those that hack passwords. So I want to ask that saving my passwords on Chrome, is it safe? Is it safe to save my password on Chrome? Like
All right,
browser, Chrome is a browser I use frequently, and when I open a site or do others, I sign up, they give me the option of saving my password. Can I create a strong password and then save it on Chrome? Is it okay?
Yeah, of course. Let me just answer your question. I mean, to be sure I heard you, you want to confirm if you can save your password on Chrome. Yes, that is like Google Password Saver. Now, Chrome is just one of the app, by Google. So it's relatively safe, right, to, save your password using the Google platform. I mean, over time, Google has proven to have a strong IT architecture to make sure that, these things are safe. So if you ask me, I think it's safe to do that, right? And you can also have other mediums to ensure that you craft your password in a way that you may not forget. And from different accounts, I just saw somebody, if you have app somewhere, you can have underscore somewhere to make sure that you don't forget. I hope the time we have will be enough to take all these hands I'm seeing up like this. I'm seeing 3 hands up. I hope that answers your question. Yes, next person, please. I hope that answers your question. Okay, somebody said, can I create a strong password? Okay, let me quickly answer this. Okay, somebody said, oh, I'm trying to read. This chat is a lot now.
You answered my question, sir.
Okay, I've answered your question. All right. Okay, quickly, the next person.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
My question is, you talked about connecting to free Wi-Fi. What if in a situation whereby I'm the one connecting to someone and then there's no password and the person connects? Am I safe, or is there any tendency that they can hack into my details by me connecting?
All right, thank you very much. If you're on your phone hotspot, I would advise that you at least put a password on it, because anytime you enable password, you will see. If you go to your Android phone, for instance, you will see that in that setting, before you can even put a password, you first see something like WPA or WEP. I made mention of it. So it's when you enable it, that's when it will now allow you to now put your password, right? And that is what that WP and WEP is what secure whatever is being done on that network. So I advise you have a password. So that's the summary of it, so that I can make sure I take all questions. I hope that answers your question. Love the way you designed your slides. Thank you very much.
Sorry, sir. I want to add to what she said now. Okay. I think she was asking whether she can share her hotspot with somebody, right? I heard the story from one of the internet scammers. They arrested him like that, and in his confession was like, there was a day he scammed a POS owner in the sense that wanted to do transfer. Now told the person that doesn't have a data, so he now told the person to share his Wi-Fi with him. That was how he was able to hack the POS owner's account. So even sharing your Wi-Fi with somebody that you don't know, it's very risky. It's a risk. They can use it to even scam someone. like that.
Yes, yes, you are right. Thank you for that. Yes, you are right. If you are sharing, I mean, I didn't get that point. Maybe I think she did not specify whether it's somebody she's close to or not, but thank you for that. I mean, contribution. Yes, yes, she didn't specify. I mean, I didn't talk about that. Yes, it's important. You don't just share your password with people you don't know. I just give you an example of when I was in Unilag, and if somebody I know he's my friend. You know, he's a programmer now. So he just told me to, maybe I've forgotten how that thing played out, but he was able to, even get certain information on my phone and all of that. So there are people like that. So just be sure you share your hotspot. The fact that you are not sharing, even now, let me just give you a clue. Even if somebody tells you you don't have data, because it's common in this part of the world that, oh, please share your hotspot with me, blah, 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 blah. The worst you can do it, if the person is using the network you are using, I mean, life is sweet now. Just give the person data rather than sharing your hotspots. If you don't know the person or you don't trust the person, if it is empty, and just give the person data, oh, take this 500 mega, 200 mega use, the person won't complain. Rather than, because in everything, your safety should come first, right? It's important. Your safety should come first. All right, next question, please. And that should be, after this question, I'll take one more, and that will be all. If you have other questions, drop it on your group chat, and we answer them, because I have to clock out by 12:30. Yes, I need to be on a meeting. Yes. Good afternoon.
Aspect of this WhatsApp that is rampant now, that people easily hack the WhatsApp accounts, despite using the two-factor authentication and particular way that make it possible for them to hack it.
Okay, now let me just answer your question spot on. It's very difficult for people to hack your WhatsApp with a two-factor authenticator. As a matter of fact, it's close to being difficult to do that, because I'm aware that even Meta, which they are one of the people who, they also go around to also train people on how to stay safe online. Like I said earlier on, when they ran one some time ago with CC Oba, I was part of the team as well. So they are also strengthening the IT architecture, and I can tell you that it's nearly impossible for you to have a two-factor authentication and somebody will still hack your WhatsApp account. Maybe you are the one who leaked probably your password or logged in on a particular computer. Maybe you go to a cafe or someone else's personal computer, you use WhatsApp web on their personal computer, or they have access to it and all of that. But it's close to being difficult for someone to hack your account with a two-factor authentication.
All right,
do you understand? Yes. All right. So I think that should be all for now. No hands is even raised yet. So if you have any other further question, you can put on your group chat. I'm happy that this session has been of value addition, and I mean, a lot of people have learned one or two things. I mean, it's a great privilege when I'm able to impact people and add values to their life beyond the rhetorics, right? So thank you so much for joining. My name is Elijah Folabi. Yeah, I'm the presenter, and I mean, I also prepared all this you have been saying. And kudos to also Nest Factory, who is bringing all this to you as well. I mean, you've done a lot to make sure this is possible. So if you want to find more about me, you can check my LinkedIn page. I mean, I'm Elijah Folabi, as you can see on your screen. So you can check more about what I do and all of that, and all of that, and all of that, and all of that. So once more, thank you so much for joining. I know we might still have to interface again, but it might be on another level. Maybe about optimization, maybe about job and employability skills, CV writing, all those things. So we still have to interface. So guys, thank you very much. Have a enjoy the rest of your Friday, your weekend. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Let me
God
speak
bless
like
you.
our president. Yeah, bye.
Thank you very much for the very interactive lecture, sir. God bless you, sir.
All right, guys.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, facilitator, for everything. Thank you for the time. I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. And yes, just like he said, this training was also brought to you, mostly, should I say, powered by Meta. And that's why you're having this session, actually, because yes, it's one of their goals to teach people how to stay safe online. So I just want to say, we're going to be having a similar session again. That obviously it's going to be next week. It might not be mandatory for you guys to join, but I mean, an email will go out if you want to join, and you can join, right? So I just want to say a very thank you to everybody for being here for the training. Thank you for the time. And also, please fill the attendance before you leave. So if you feel the attendance, you can leave the call. Thank you all so much.
Please, admin, can we still submit our pitch deck?